We noticed several years ago that as we continued to grow in the district, we had a high density of students in the north central part of the district. We've also had to do some redistricting through the years, move kids to elementaries that are not necessarily in their neighborhoods, and that's not something we like to do.
But the problem has been finding land. So fortunately, they finally found a 32-acre property, a church that the congregation had declined to the point that they couldn't really maintain the facilities. So once we found the property, that was the most exciting part. And then the decision was made in the spring of 2014 to build the school.
In 2015, our patrons approved the pre-construction services for Elementary 14.
Because we knew this was going to be a process that we wanted to be able to put together the right people, the right planning to really make it be what we want it to be. We've had community schools in Union for a number of years. However, they've been in existing buildings. And so you put a community school together and you have lots of extra services. You have a clinic where families can come and get medical services. But we've had to retrofit buildings, which is always difficult to make an area that was not designed for a particular project be able to work. And so this gives us the opportunity to build a community school from scratch, because we know it's going to be a facility that's used not just during the day by the students, but it's going to be available on weekends, evenings, and even during the day for community people to be able to utilize the facility.
As we were working through the visioning process, perhaps our second meeting, I think we all recognized that we had a voice missing, and I recognized it, and that was that, where are the kids? And so at our next visioning meeting, we invited students to come in from a variety of schools, and we asked them, what would you like to have in a new elementary school? And their ideas were just absolutely amazing.
It really changed some of our ideas, to be quite honest. The things that we hadn't thought about, they came up with.
They really educated us in terms of that they wanted an environment that's safe, they wanted an environment that's fun, they wanted an environment that's comfortable.
We picked one classroom in the existing school at Rosa Parks, and we've put in a whole classroom set with different kinds of desks, different kinds of student chairs, and looking at, okay, what would be the best thing for Rosa Parks? And then once we have decided on that, I think that will kind of show us where we want to go with Elementary 14. And the idea is it's okay for kids to fidget in the chairs, that it's actually good for them because it really helps on blood circulation, time on task, and you would think that would be disturbing to the teachers, but they don't have a problem with that. The other thing that we've done is we've probably toured over 20 different schools in 5 different states, and I think that's had a big impact because it allows you to pick and choose. Well, I like the feature from this school, but not this. I like the feature from that school, and put all that together. And then you also can see what they're doing with their curriculum, how they have taken that facility, and does it match the curriculum that they espouse. And I think we found in several of the schools that it has, and then we find what curriculum they're using that is very similar to what we do, and think, okay, that's why they did it that way, and that meets our needs as well. And in our tours going to all these other states, it gave us an opportunity to look at architecture firms beyond local ones that we've used. And then those 3 came in and we did an extensive presentation and interview process with them, and then narrowed it down to the firm that we've selected, which is Hollis & Miller out of Kansas City. The nice thing that we found about Hollis & Miller, this is all they do. The only thing they design are schools. And so they are into the process. And it's not just the school itself. They have spent a lot of time understanding the philosophy of education, particularly public education, which is really what we're talking about. It's such a large property. It's 32 acres. And so as we've gone through this process, one thing that has really come out is it's not looking at just the school. It's looking at the entire campus. And just looking at the outside, lots of trails, instead of designing the landscape so that it just looks pretty, you design an arboretum so you have multiple kinds of trees and plants, and you make sure you've designed it for butterflies and for other living things, so that when they're learning in science, they don't look at a textbook, they go out into the backyard and they're able to experience that within their own area. And it's exciting to be able to see that so many people are excited about taking the outside of the building and making that a learning environment as much as the school itself.
It really is going to be what I like to call a phoenix. Something that's going to really just excite a lot of inspiration and motivation, and I'm really thrilled about that. And it's going to be a nice asset to what we already have in this district. When you look around and you see our facilities, truly we are very fortunate to have state-of-the-art learning facilities, and this will just be another addition.